So this happened last week, and I still don't understand how winning money ruined my life. I bought a lottery ticket because the cashier said, "Good luck." That felt legally binding. I scratched it in my car like a responsible adult. First number matched. Second number matched. My hands started shaking. I won $450,000. I immediately did what any smart person would do. I went home and told my wife. I said, "Babe, don't freak out." She freaked out. She grabbed the ticket, checked it again and said, "This is real." I said, "I know." For 10 seconds we were rich. Then she said, "So, what are we doing with it?" I said, "I was thinking we relax." Wrong answer. She said, "No, we invest." I said, "Okay, but also relax." She said, "No." She immediately opened her phone and started listing things. House upgrades, new car, investments, a vacation that sounded suspiciously expensive. I said, "What if we just don't tell anyone?" She laughed. Too late. I already told my mom. Her mom. 5 minutes later, her mom calls me and says, "So I hear you're rich now." I'm not rich. I'm confused. Then my wife says, "And we need a financial advisor." I said, "I need a nap." She didn't laugh. I suggested something very dangerous. "What if I keep the ticket, for now?" Silence. She said, "Why would you keep it?" I said, "Because I won it." That's when the mood changed. She said, "So now it's your money?" I said, "No, it's our money." She said, "Then why are you holding it?" I said, "Because I don't trust the table." She said, "You don't trust me?" I said, "No, I don't trust the wind." At this point, we are yelling about air. She finally said, "You know what? Go cool off." I said, "Where?" She said, "Anywhere that isn't here." I walked out of my own house, with a winning lottery ticket, and nowhere to sleep. I'm now sitting in my friend's basement, eating pizza, holding $450,000 worth of paper, and wondering how I lost my home but gained money. Moral of the story? Winning the lottery doesn't change who you are, but it does change where you're allowed to sleep.